Hey guys. Now I'm pretty sure a lot of you that didn't really pay attention or haven't heard yet, or have found out just today, or, well, you get the idea. You know, the word's been spreading around that yesterday our president decided to add an extension to the hashtag days to slow the spread deal. Originally it was 15 days, which would have come up this upcoming week. Or next week, as a matter of fact. However, due to the fact that a lot of reports have been coming out that we've been getting new cases, some new unfortunate passings and all that, which I'm pretty sure a lot of people kind of take with a grain of salt. Now, I'm not saying any of it's not true, but still, you know, it's like, okay, why did this person suddenly pass? As because of this virus, because of this situation, you know, it doesn't make sense, you know. So this, you know, stuff like that, people are going to question and wonder, okay, where's the authenticity? Easy for me to say. Where's the hold on. You know, where's the authenticity? The evidence of, this situation, this pandemic, this virus being the reason for people passing, especially those at a young age. You know, people are going to wonder that. Again, I'm not saying none of it's not true, but people will still now be questioning, you know, what the heck is going on? Now suddenly we're having this happen. And again, like I said, I'm not saying it's not true or anything, but still people will question it. So the president decided that because of some of this news that is related to what's going on, he was going to extend the days to spread deal to at least another month, which is the end of April. Now, here's the thing. I'm sure a lot of people are wondering, why did he do it? Why did he suddenly, you know, change his mind on the limit, on the timetable, right? Why did he change his mind? Why did he go from 15 days to another month? And why did he go from Easter being the targeted date to the end of April? Well, it's really quite simple. You see, he's acknowledging, and I guess if you believe some of the doctors, like his head doctor in his task force, Dr. Fauci, if you listen to what they're saying and what he's hearing from them, yeah, it's going to take more time than just around Easter. Now, the big question anybody has, as I mentioned in my channel update, is how is this going to affect Easter? How is Easter going to, you know, be affected by this? And honestly, I don't think it's going to be affected too much. I believe, here's what I think. In my speculation, my opinion, here's what I believe is going to happen. Our president is going to make an announcement, because he seems to be making announcements almost every day. Like, you know, every day there's something different. It's like something happens that either is going to be good news, or it's going to be in the middle, in between, if you will. And whatever that change is, usually, and whatever that news is, I should say, usually is going to result in some kind of an announcement, or results in some kind of change, or at least modification, if you will. And I believe Trump's going to probably see maybe some of the backlash, because there will be backlash, if not already, on the extension to the 30th and interfering with Easter. I'm pretty sure he's going to come out eventually down the line before then and say, look, you know, I'm going to... here's what I think, in my opinion. I feel, and again, I could be wrong, but I feel he's going to make an announcement where he's going to make Easter an exception. And not just an exception, but he's going to make it an exception and a test. He's going to make it a test to see whether or not we've had enough time by then to slow the spread. Because if Easter comes around, and what I'm trying to say is, if And as you can tell, I'm doing this unscripted, uncut, and on the fly. But if Easter comes around, and comes and it goes, I should say, that will be the telling tale right there. Like, if nothing happens within maybe that week, that Easter week of Easter break and everything, if there's no reported new cases, or even if there's one or a few, but very sporadical, to me that's going to be the telling sign that perhaps April 30th will be the end. Maybe. Again, what I'm trying to say, and I apologize for any of the distractions here, but what I am trying to say is that April 30th, the reason he put April 30th is because of what's going on. He's even said by the next 2 weeks we should be reaching that this whole situation should be reaching its peak by then. That's what our president has said. That by at least that time frame we should have reached our peak. That's pretty much what he's indicating, that by the time the next 2 weeks comes around, we should have reached our peak, reached our limits, and be done with it, and slowly start to get back to normal. Now, one thing I'm pretty sure confuses a lot of people is if he's saying April 30th is the new targeted date to, to kind of slow down or kind of slowly end the social distancing and all that and try to get back to normal, then why did he say June 1st we should be back to normal? Because this is what I think he's looking at. And I'm trying to look at it from a perspective of how he looks at it. You see, what he's looking at mainly is the fact that come April 30th, should no new cases be reported as much as they are now, like we get to what China or Italy is doing, and that's, just reporting one case every once in a while, every few weeks. He's looking at May as being like a rebirth, a retcon, a reboot, if you will, for our country. In other words, May will be used as a way of slowly getting things back to normal, and that by June we should be up and running again, because he knows, being a family man himself and being a businessman before becoming president, he knows a lot of people are looking at the summer as vacation time, is to want to get away from it all, be with family, be with friends, have get-togethers, have barbecues, stuff like that. Now here's the question a lot of people have, though. Is April 30th going to be it? We don't know yet. You see, a lot of people pretty much are coming out and saying, oh, well, this won't be over till July or August or maybe even into November. From what I understand about that, from what I've heard, and I'm sure the president has heard stuff similar, is that by the time we get to July or August, we should be like at the tail end of this disease, of this virus. And that, yes, it'll still be around, but because of the warm weather, as a matter of fact, it's warm right now, it's like almost 70 degrees here in Patterson, California, that by the time we get to that portion of the year, again, it'll still be around, but it won't be as strong and influential because of the fact the heat will start to get rid of it. The heat will start weakening it. Again, like I said, it'll still be around, but it'll be at its tail end. And by that time, they should have had plenty of opportunity to come up with some kind of therapy or vaccine or something to help combat this. And by that time as well, even with people still, in the hospital, recovering, getting treatments, they should have the medical equipment supplied enough across the country to kind of really put an obstacle in front of this virus and disease and keep it from spreading. So that's why I believe he's extending this to April 30th. he's extending it to April 30th to give more time. And then the reason he's targeting June as like things being back to normal is because he's looking at May as being that rebuilding period. In other words, May will be the month things start to slowly get back together. Things slowly start getting back to normal. So that's basically why, you know, you have these targeted dates right now. And even Dr. Fauci agrees that these are better dates to go by than what the president had originally pitched. Now, the other thing as well, like I said earlier, is people wonder about Easter. And like I said, things change every day. You have governors, you have our president coming out almost every day doing an update on what's going on. And sometimes that update has a change in what they said before. And as far as Easter goes, I think what's going to happen is our president, like I said, is probably going to come out and make an announcement to where Easter is going to be a testing point, to where people are going to be allowed to get together for Easter, because he knows we're going to want to do that. But it's also going to be used as a testing point to see what happens throughout that week. And that if there's no new cases after that week, which is Easter break, resurrection break, if you will, then I've got a feeling, you know, and he'll come out and say that April 30th is not just a targeted date anymore, it is a set date. Like, this is the date it ends. And we start getting back to normal. So that's what I think is going to happen. The other reason he's also extended this is because a lot of young people out there, college kids, high schoolers, whatever, and any other people, are not heeding to the warnings. I mean, look, yes, I understand there are people that don't want to conform, they don't want to listen to authority or governments and all that, and feel, you know, their freedom is being taken away. But this is being done for a reason. Mostly it's to calm the fears of those that, you know, do overreact at this kind of stuff and do have the fears that this could be something worse than what's being let on. So, you know, that's why it's also being extended, because people are not listening and not listening and doing what's right. I mean, you have towns basically coming out and saying, hey, would you please turn around and go home and take this seriously? Because if you don't, you're going to make us all sick possibly, or whatever. So that's basically what it is. It's Trump's doing this because of the lack of respect at the young people from colleges and high schools, and even some other adults in general, you know, are giving towards this whole situation. It's a lack of respect and common sense, and that's what people have been trying to tell them to use. Common sense when it comes to this. You know, I mean, yes, everybody understands that this is something that, you know, they don't want to do, but it has to be done. Believe me, you know, I know better than anybody, because in '96, I had to stay at home for almost 2 weeks along with the rest of my fellow classmates because some kid decided to bring mercury onto the campus at Oskaloosa High School and nearly poison everybody, and everybody, including myself, had to be checked. Like I said, everybody, including myself, had to be checked to make sure we didn't have any mercury in us. And yeah, that wasn't a big deal as what's going on now, but still, we had to be away from our school for about 2 weeks while the ETA had to come in. I think that's what they're called. The health people, to basically sanitize, clean up everything, and make sure it was safe to go back. So yeah, again, it's not as big as what this is, but still, I understand probably better than anybody out there at times, along with others that have dealt with a similar situation, what it's like when you have to go through this. So anyway, though, guys, that's why in the end, as I'm getting ready to go back to work, that's why our president has extended, in my opinion, the date till the end of April, because of the fact that, one, It gives more time for a lot of stuff to happen, to take place. It's because people, young college kids, high schoolers, people that have lack of respect and lack of common sense and not taking this seriously and doing what they're not supposed to do. That's another reason. And also, it's the fact that, like I said, it gives more time for stuff to come in, but it also allows that warmer weather to come in as well. And then, like I said, it also sets up a date, a timetable for April 12th, which is Easter, which I think he's going to allow some kind of socializing on that day to see what happens and go from there. Because if something occurs, because if nothing occurs, like no cases are found or anything within that week span, that's when I got a feeling he's going to come out and say that April 30th is no longer a set date. It's a targeted date, or a targeted date. It is a set, legit, foundation in the ground date to try to get back to normal afterwards. So that's why he also did it. And it also gives time for other things like the medical supplies and stuff to come in, and the warmer weather, because there are parts of the country that take time to get warm, to come in and really, you know, disperse or destroy this, slow this virus even further, even more so than social distancing. So anyway though, guys, that's why in my opinion he did it, and that's all I'm going to say. So I'm going to get into work now before I get into trouble. Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. And I am out. If I ramble a little bit, I do apologize, but I just wanted to give you my thoughts, my opinion on why President Trump extended the social distancing to up to April 30th. So let me know what you guys all think down below. Comment if you like, and I am out.